You're not sure what you're doing on the first one, and it doesn't adhere, you're gonna have to replace the deck at that point.
And it's expensive.
And it's gonna be a lot more expensive.
It's a lot of garbage going to the dump. Well, stuff, you can put it on wet.
But if you were to do a TPO repair on that, like a TPO patch.
TPO patch would be like, you have to cut it out and
you have to heat weld it.
Heat weld. That would have been a nightmare. That would have been thousands of dollars. We did this for free because we were there already and we just happened to have the stuff. Today we're going to talk about roof coatings. I've got Mario here with me. He's an expert roof coater. He's applied, sold, done everything you can do with these roof coatings. So we're going to ask him some questions and learn all about roof coatings. First of all, what is a roof coating? Mario, what's a roof coating?
So a roof coating comes in like many different shapes and sizes basically. You could have acrylic, you could have silicone-based coatings. And sometimes they're high solids or low solids. They could be fibered. So they come in many different ways.
Okay, what kind of roofs do they cover? What kind of roofs can we coat?
You could coat basically most flat roofs as long as the surface is still in good condition.
What types of roofs can't be coated?
We can't coat anything that has trapped moisture underneath or anything that has a slope to it.
Trapped moisture is like in the insulation, above the decking, but below the
cover deck, yeah.
Okay, all right. We don't want to do that. So when we do some of these coatings, I'm guessing we have to do some repairs sometimes underneath. Like
You have to make sure the substrate's still in good condition for it to be coated. And a lot of times, like especially with mod bit, you have to go put another layer of mod bit in order to make sure there's something to coat to.
Okay. How do you determine whether or not a coating will work on a specific roof?
We do adhesion tests, prime it, scuff it, or any other extra prep work that the roof may need. We wash it, either scuff it with depending if it's metal or TPO, depending on what type of brush we use. And then we do an adhesion test and wait the dry and curing time for either primer, no primer, or if we use like a leveling compound on it and see what that does to the adhesion.
So a leveling compound. I got some of this stuff, this leveling compound, and I'm curious, why would we want to use a leveling compound? Like what kind of roof is that good for?
Like an exposed aggregate roof, like a gravel roof. If you were to coat that, you have to get most of the loose gravel off, but you have a lot of huge imperfections where a lot of the coating is just gonna build up and it's gonna take a lot longer to dry. You might have some trapped air bubbles, or it might not help the adhesion. So it'd be a lot better to have a flat surface, something a lot more level to, for the silicone coating to adhere to and flow out.
You can use like a self-leveling compound that goes kind of around the imperfections of the roof and makes you one solid level that can easily be coated.
Yeah.
Will a roof coating extend the life of my roof? How much? Like, how good is it?
The roof coating definitely extends the life of the roof substantially. It keeps you from having to replace the whole roof. I think you'd probably get a good 10 years out of most coatings, depending on how they were done.
What's the best warranty we can get out of a coating on a flat roof?
I think the 20-year end deal is the biggest one.
Yeah. So if we do like a Cadillac job where we just go all out, we make sure everything's perfect, we can get a 20-year NDL?
Yeah, if we, most of the time they're not going to require a 3-coursing depending on your adhesion test, but you could get a 20-year NDL with the right thickness.
Okay, so the manufacturer will back it up too?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's huge. That's huge. This coating's starting to sound like a good idea. If one of our listeners is a roofer and they're a real do-it-yourselfer, you guys want to go shingle your own doghouse, or want to go fix something on your roof, can a homeowner do this themselves, or do you need a professional contractor?
It could be both ways. A lot of times you might think doing it yourself might save you a little bit of money, but getting the equipment, getting the time, it's a lot of labor. A lot of times you're not set up for all that. You need to have power washers, you need to make sure everything's clean and proper, because if you're not sure what you're doing on the first one and it doesn't adhere, you're gonna have to replace the deck at that point.
And it's expensive.
And it's gonna be a lot more expensive having to redo it than.
If you buy it by the bucket, it gets very, very expensive. If you're buying a ton of material or 55-gallon drums, it reduces the per gallon price substantially. But if you're doing like something small for yourself, it's a lot of very expensive.
It can get expensive real quick.
We think it lasts like up to 20 years for a roof coating, but generally, if we're doing the simple coating, it's about 10.
But you could always extend the warranty once by recoating it.
Oh, so you can just recoat it. Okay, and you just have to do the adhesion test is pretty simple on that because
It's you already
you know it
you're adhering onto itself said silicone.
and it's designed for that.
Yeah.
So okay, because you can do multiple layers. So like okay, so instead of having to replace your roof every 30 years and it costing $500,000, you might be able to replace your roof every 15 or 20 years with a coating product, and it only costs you $75,000 or $80,000.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty smart. Let's just go through the kind of the steps of the coating. How do I prepare the roof? First of all, how do I get the roof ready for a new coating?
Any dirt, grease, grime, anything like that comes off, and each manufacturer is going to have their own wash. Basically, it's a concentrate, and then they just spray it on and wash it off. And then depending on if it's metal or TPO or EPM, they might have different prep steps before, like make sure it's 100% dry and making sure there's no bad decking underneath it, so you have a good surface. For like example, a metal roof, like an R panel, stuff like that, you're gonna need to do three coursing.
Okay.
Three coursing basically.
Three course. Before I don't want to interrupt you, but I brought a sample of a 3-course today. This is a 3-course. That's what it looks like. That's each kind of step of the 3-course. So what is a 3-course?
Well, I think maybe before you start the 3-course on the metal roof or panel roof, you want to make sure all the fasteners are tight on there, and if you have to replace fasteners. And after that, you're going to basically go around every fastener and dollop. We'll circle around every fastener, make sure it's sealed. Right? And then every seam and overlap, we're going to go in with fibered acrylic or fibered silicone.
And that's this stuff here.
And just to make sure it's the overlap or any gap in there is covered. That makes sure it's not going to pop up or tear the silicone.
Okay.
And then after all that's said and done, you go either 1-layer or 2-layer application on your silicone depending on thickness.
Okay.
And then that's going to be your 3-course.
How thick does it have to be?
For the 10-year, minimum thickness is supposed to be around 35 to 40.
Okay.
And then for the 20-year, you want around 60 to 65.
Okay. And we just did one, and we had it at 80. We overdid it. But they wanted a 20-year NDL on a 350 square roof. So
yeah,
we needed to go big time with it. So we went big time with it. Can I coat a rusted metal roof?
There's a little bit more prep work involved. As long as the metal is still in good condition underneath the oxidation, there is rusted metal primer you could use on the metal before you actually prime or silicone it, depending on your adhesion test.
Just another step in the process you add to it when you have rust. The benefits of the roof coating, just kind of covering up what we've talked about already. It sounds like it's a lot less expensive than replacing the whole roof. And just doing the math in my head, I'm thinking, if I have to replace, let's just say we have a TPO roof. Standard TPO roof meets the state standards for insulation. You're talking about like 5 or 6 inches of insulation. Well, if you replace the roof, you have to remove all of that and the glue in between, right? And the cover board and the actual TPO.
There's a lot of disposal in that.
Man, that's a lot of garbage going to the dump. And if you have a coating, all you're doing is washing off the weather and coating it. You don't have to throw anything away, really. The only trash is kind of your buckets at the end, and we recycle those anyway.
And let's say on a TPO roof, let's say you're trying to maintain that, like you get a new TPO roof and you're trying to maintain it next 10 years. TPO repairs are a lot more expensive and a lot more technical compared to a coating repair. Coating repair, you go up there, make sure the surface is super clean. Use the same silicone you installed before just to go over a small repair area. And a lot of times you'll get that, like if you have a bunch of AC technicians, a lot of people going up there, they might drop something or
like we found at that one.
Yeah, and they might
we found a hole. We found a hole in a TPO roof downtown Austin, and I mean, guys, it was tiny. I mean, it was like
pinhole size.
It was like a pinhole size, but water was coming through, and it was dripping onto a file cabinet in like a lawyer's office, and like I'm talking about like a big 5-story office complex with all kinds of people in there, professionals. Like everybody's wearing suit and ties and stuff. Like not like us, like doing more important stuff. So like that happened. We used that fibered acrylic, right?
Yeah.
And we just went over that little pinhole.
I think fibered plastic. No, fibered silicone. Sorry.
It's fibered silicone. So we use the Smart Coat 365 from that. It's a CertainTeed product. We use a CertainTeed product, and we just like, bloop, leak gone. I mean, it's remarkable stuff. You can put it on wet.
But if you were to do a TPO repair on that, like a TPO patch.
TPO patch would be like you have to cut it out and you
have to heat weld it.
That would have been a nightmare. That would have been thousands of dollars. We did this for free because we were there already and we just happened to have the stuff.
Well, let's say you had a silicone system on there and you had that same repair. It's just the same, and that's it.
Very simple. So like the next repair.
Maintaining that silicone roof over the 10 years is going to be so much
easier,
more cost effective too.
Yeah, so much simpler. So it extends the life of the roof. It's going to protect you from the elements, right? I mean, it's going to do as good a job as the TPO. It's got a huge warranty on it. It's not really susceptible to wind. I guess everything is susceptible to hail if it's big enough, but I'd imagine this stuff doesn't. I mean, it's if you could feel it, it's like it's really soft, and it feels like someone would just bounce off of it.
I think the only way you'd probably damage it is if it broke whatever's behind it. And
whatever roof is underneath it.
If it broke whatever's behind it, then you got a bigger problem.
Yeah, you got a bigger problem. It also improves your energy efficiency, right? Because it's
super reflective.
Ultra reflective. Like it's so ultra reflective. Okay, so the benefits, we've got extended roof lifespan, protects you against the elements, improved energy efficiency, reduced maintenance costs. I mean, it's so easy to maintain one of these roofs because all you need is a little bucket of the 365 or whatever, product. We typically install.
You can't easily damage it either.
Oh, it's tough. Yeah, the stuff is tough. But we typically use Certainteed. Okay, we use Certainteed for our 450 silicone coating. They're not like sponsoring the program or anything, but we also do some work with Progressive Materials (PM). We use their leveling compound. It's called SL800. We use their leveling compound on gravel roofs. We remove the gravel and then we pour it on and make it level and do all that stuff that Mario was discussing earlier with Progressive Materials. So those are pretty much the only two we use, but there's a lot out there. If you're thinking about coating your commercial roof or your low slope roof on your back patio or something like that, just remember it's a much better price. It's a high quality roofing system that should last a long time. And we are very excited to be one of the installers. We're 5-star installers with Certainteed. We actually have Progressive Materials coming to the office next month for our monthly sales meeting to get us trained on their specifics, the specifics of their product, so that we have certification from them. We're very excited to offer coatings, and I think it's going to change the way roofs are done in Texas. So Mario, what do we do if the roof is because it's really slick when we apply this stuff? What do we do if it's really slippery and the AC guys need to walk around, or the roof needs to be walkable for some reason? Like hospital roofs are typically need to be walkable because the HEPAs have to be changed out, and there's reasons to have walkways.
So we could chalk line walkways out and then go in there and apply the granule.
Mixed into the solution.
It's mixed into the solution whenever you're doing silicone or any of the other acrylics. And then we also have a tint to go along with that. So we could tint your walkways a different color, just tape them off, and then have walkways yellow with the high traction granule on it.
Oh, okay. So it's like a special material for the walkways that are completely distinguished. People aren't walking in the wrong spots either.
And then you'll have the extra protection of the extra mils of silicone on there and the extra mils of the granules that are on there.
Okay. So with the repair material, the 365 Nastic, our repair guys all carry a bucket of this at all times because it's wet applied. That means it cures in the water. So if you have a big leak on we did one at the restaurant down here, Wildfire, thank you, at Wildfire, and it was pouring down rain, and they had a mod bit roof, and it was leaking around the grease trap, and it was a mess. So we just real quick washed it off, scrubbed it down, and put a third of a bucket on it, covered up that hole. We still haven't got a call.
The repair stuff
2 years.
is water applied. Most of the stuff you can do even underwater and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But the actual silicone coating and stuff like that, we need to.
Yeah, the actual coating, what we're coating the whole roof in, is not that 365 fibered. You don't need that fibered when you're doing a whole layer.
But fiber helps it stay together.
Yeah, that fiber helps it stick to other surfaces quickly. So the fiber is more for doing repairs. It's not really for doing the whole roof. Although we use a ton of it on the whole roof, because if an area is damaged and it looks bad, we put a layer of that on first. It's the second step of what we do. So we clean the roof and then we'll do repairs on the roof. Sometimes we have to cut out big sections of mod bit, like at Mr. Carney. Mm-hmm. We had to cut out big sections of mod bit and redo the roof in mod bit and then coat it. Because we had wet. You can have the wet moisture underneath. The moisture will get hot under the roof and have to get out. And when it has to get out, it's going to bubble up. It's going to.
So just all the wet insulation under there has to come out.
Yeah, it's the same thing that can kind of cause billowing. Like moisture gets underneath the TPO roof, and the moisture gets into the glue, and the glue comes loose, and now all of a sudden you've got billowing all over the roof, and there's
That corner was just leaking because it was the edge came up.
Yeah, the edge came up, and water got behind it. And we just had to change the decking because you can't have moisture.
The decking was soft though.
Yeah, the decking was super soft. Yeah, we could fall right through it. Truth or myth, coating is basically just painting the roof. That is inaccurate. These systems are very kind of new, not new inventions, but they're updating, scientists are figuring this stuff out, getting fibers into it. The process is a lot like painting, but the prep is significantly.
You could basically put this coating on anything and it'll make it into a pool.
Yeah, make it into a swimming pool. Yeah, like it's, and it might not, it's UV stable, whereas there is no paint.
Paint will, paint dries off your house, like flakes off the house after a couple
years. Like paint is not, it does not have a high level usable. No, it does protect the wood, but it doesn't seal it. Yeah. It doesn't seal it. It just protects it, and it's not UV stable. And also 60 mil is a lot thicker than paint. Paint's like 5 mil. So 60 mil is 12 times thicker. When you put this on, it is not like paint. It is like pancake batter. It's not like a liquid that's high viscosity. It's like ultra low viscosity. So it's like, I don't know, it's very thick. It's like pancake batter, but even kind of stickier and thicker.
And then paint can't pass that pull test either.
Oh yeah, paint can't test the pull test. So when we do our adhesion tests, and you painted it, and then you put your strip down, you paint it again, you're gonna be able to yank that right out. Our strip tests have to be able to hold 3 pounds. Our most recent adhesion test was 8?
8.
It held 8 pounds. There's no paint in the world that can hold an 8-pound adhesion test. There's just no way.
I think it would have tested higher if we let it cure fully, like a whole week.
Yeah, we didn't even we did it 24 hours later instead of waiting the full week. But we knew it was strong, and so we didn't have to wait. We only needed 3, and we got 8 after a day. We went out in a week, we might have got 30. So this stuff is sticking to the roof.
Well, we had the sample test get stuck together.
Yeah, we spilled on the outside of the bucket, and it was stuck to another bucket. It ain't coming off, y'all. Like, it's like they're stuck together. We give it to our big, strong roofer guys who can carry 3-4 bundles up at a time, and they try to pull them apart. And it's just funny because they dent the cans before they can pull them apart.
It's still one piece.
It's still the whole box is set in one piece now, and it's not coming.
It's not.
You'd have to have a Sawzall to get these apart.
Paint doesn't awesome. Do that.
No, it's actually really, you see, we're kind of giddy about it. This is exciting. It's really, really cool. It feels like something that NASA should be using. It's just a cool scientific deal. We actually met one of the inventors of it at IRE, the Certainteed 450. Oh my gosh, she was super cool lady. And man, she was down to earth. She was so cool. And now she's like a boss over there. But she was on the team that invented this stuff. And that took some effort, man. This stuff is, for it to be able to go over modified bitumen and go over TPO and go over.
It's not like the old coatings. The old coatings you used to see where they just flake off the roof and stuff like that. It's not the same thing.
It's not like that, man. It's not like that. It feels like the inside of a swimming pool.
Yeah.
You'd have to stab it with a sharp object to make a hole in it. It's not going to be it's not just going to wear down.
If you do stab it with the sharp object, you just go over a little bit with it and it'll.
Yeah, and if you stab a hole in it with a knife, you can literally take the 365 and go right over it, and you got nothing to worry about. Truth or myth? You only can use this on old roofs or new roofs. It doesn't work on different aged roofs. Well, we have put it on 5-year-old mod bit roofs. We've put it on 7-year-old metal roofs. We've put it on 12-year-old TPO roofs. And we have not had any kind of issue. We are about to undertake a project in a very old building in downtown Austin called Austin Shoe Repair. And we're about to coat that sucker. And it's mod bit, and it's about 25 years old. We're gonna really find out a lot about this roof. I also am doing Longhorn Automotive.
In the
same area, same customer, just own a couple buildings. And we're gonna try that on a built-up roof. And we are really fired up. The savings there is thousands and thousands of dollars.
And these are both older roofs.
And these are older roofs. These roofs are old. This is Old Burnett in Austin, if you know the area. It's 50s, 60s, 70s built up. So we're really excited to try it on some of these really old roofs. I would say that that's a myth. I don't think there's anything it can't go on. We'll even warranty that hole. I will put Apex warranty on that hole. I'll give you 5 years on that hole's not gonna leak. I can't promise the rest of it's not gonna leak, but that hole that guy dropped in,
It's not gonna leak.
that's not gonna leak. I love this stuff, man. I'm very excited. I think it's really gonna take over our market. I hope the insurance companies catch on, because it's not good for the environment to make someone replace their roof every 30 years. It really is not. This is such a safer deal for the environment. The world is, we are wasteful. And I think that replacing the entire roof some of the times is really, really wasteful. And I'm really excited to be able to give Mother Nature, Mother Earth, a little bit of a break here, making something that's sustainable and easy to fix without having to throw everything away. Well, I appreciate you guys listening to another episode of If Roofs Could Talk. If you guys have any questions about roof coatings, please comment below, and we'll take care of any questions that you have. If I don't have the answer, we'll go find it. We'll talk to Certainteed. We'll talk to Progressive. We'll get the answers you need. We're very excited to continue with these projects. We'll keep you guys updated on our coating projects. I hope you enjoyed kind of some of the pictures and some of the stuff that we provided today from some of our other coating jobs. And yeah, cut to outro.